So, the Tories climbed down on the Freedom of Information
Freedom of
Act.
Information Act. Now, the Freedom of Information Act was introduced by Tony Blair, and he's gone back and said he was a nincompoop for ever introducing it. The Freedom of Information Act means you can, within 20 working days, get information about certain public bodies. It's modelled, in fact, on the American version. But, there have been a lot of abuses of it in terms of, asking for questions of local authorities about aliens, what's their protection against dinosaurs. And
Area 51.
But it's basically an important tool for campaigning journalists like me. I use Free Information Acts a lot to get information.
We talked about it at the top of the B block.
We did.
With the Swansea.
We did. A very important thing. It's problematic. There are all these caveats. You can't ask about the royal family and blah blah blah, and you've got to be very precise in your wording. But they are, because I think it's actually still underway. They have launched a parliamentary inquiry into how it's working, and they stuffed this inquiry with people like Jack Straw, former Home Secretary, who are no friends to the Freedom of Information Act.
Nope.
So everybody was saying, well, they're going to come back and recommend it's tightened up even further, but they are not. Well, they may do, but the Tory government have said, and I quote, it is working well.
Yep,
So,
the law's fine as it is,
great,
and
fantastic.
Tom Watson of Labour came out and said
Tom Watson did,
that they're thrilled.
Which is very good. I'm very pleased about that. Although they are going to extend and have further veto for government ministers for stopping information coming out, so I'm not so happy about that. But I am happy about the fact that they're saying it is, quote, working well. And, it is important.
Worst comes to worst, we'll just get the Boston Globe Spotlight team on it.
Yeah. I mean, there are, important things that should come out.
Indeed.
And secrecy is so corrosive.
It is.
I think it's very, very corrosive.
When I lived in Florida, they passed something called the Sunshine Law. And they said sunshine was the best cleanser, and all government business must be conducted in the sunshine.
Well, that's quite right.
Since then, the Republican administrations that have come after that have repeatedly tried to water it down and make it less than what it is. But
very important. Very important. Very important. Just to shine a light on these things, whether or not it's bad or good, is so important. We used to have a situation where we had a coverall Secrecy Act until the Freedom of Information Act, when you weren't allowed to give information from government departments about their liaison with the Cub Scouts and stuff like that. Absolute nonsense, complete nonsense. A lot of this has been swept away, thank God, and we have got this Freedom of Information Act, which is flawed but is better than nothing. Indeed. And it's very important, I think, that you do bring these things out into the light, so that nutters and can get information, but campaigning journalists, and I'd like to think I'm not a nutter, can also get information. And yes, it's going to cost a bit of money. Yes, staff are going to have to deal with a certain amount of kind of what's your protection against dinosaurs and aliens and all of that rest of it. But that doesn't mean the nub of it should not be kept. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. These are relatively small things compared with the big thing that it is. And I think it's very important. And, I applaud the government for saying it is, quote, working well. I just hope that they stick to it.
And make our jobs a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely.